Okay, chat. So, this is going to be a review of all of the cards from Descent of Dragons for Arena. So that means any of the Invoke cards or Galakron cards we're going to skip, because I don't want to get too long and they're just not relevant for Arena. I'm going to give scores from 0 to 5. Wait, no, 1, yeah, 0 to 5. Wait, no, I said scale 1 to 5. Okay, 1 to 5. Apparently we can't even get the scale right to start the review. 1 to 5, with 3 being average. Okay? Let me hide this for a second. Okay, alright. We'll go by classes. So I'm going to follow the order over here, with Druid first, and then we'll go through with neutral last. I mean, the neutrals are kind of the most important for Arena because you'll be seeing them the most. So yeah. Alright, let's do it. Let's get ready to rumble. The first card, Shrubadier. I'm sure my pronunciation will be spot on for all of these. Shrubadier. This is a 2-mana 1/1 Battlecry, summon a 2/2 Treant. 2/2. So for 2 mana, you get a 1/1 and a 2/2. Obviously, there's some like Treant synergy, but like that's not all that. That's not going to be all that common in Arena, I think, as opposed to Dragon synergy, which I think will be everywhere. It's better than average because it gives you like a 3/3 stats for 2 mana. So I would say this card is, I don't know if it's quite a 4, but I'm going to go with let's go with a 3.5. I feel like 3.5 is fair. Hold on, I gotta get this set up again. 3.5. Boom. 3.5. We have to figure out a way to make it a little bit quicker. Oh, I can just click this to go to the next. Oh, wait, then I can crop it more at the right. All right, we're doing it live. We're doing it live. Crop it more. Just like a little more. Okay, yeah. All right, the next card. The next card is Aeroponics. Aeroponics. 5 mana. Draw 2 cards. Cost 2 less for each Treant you control. So I mean, there's obviously the card we just saw, but I don't think there are that many Treant generating cards. So, and if you pay 5 mana to draw 2, which is, basically an Arcane Intellect. An Arcane Intellect for 2 more mana, that's awful. So you need to have a Treant in play for it to be good. So I think this card is pretty bad. I'm going to say this is a 2. Hold on. We'll streamline it. I promise. It'll get faster. 2. Wait, this should be over here more. There we go. Okay, 2. Strength in numbers. So this is a side quest. One note about side quests is they are going to be in Arena, unlike the quests. So this card will be around. Some of the side quests are good, some of them not so good. But anyways, so this one is the Druid side quest. Spend 10 mana on minions. Reward summon a minion from your deck. So I was trying to think about how good this is. I think if you draw it early, it's okay. Because spending 1 mana early, and let's say you'll probably get a dropout on what, turn 5 or so, let's say. If you get like a 2-drop, it's really bad. If you get like a 4 or 5-drop, it's insane. But that's the best case, because if you draw it late in the game, it's just going to be really... Well, I guess if you draw it late, you can play it, then play an 8-drop. So it's never going to be atrocious, right? I think it's okay. I'm going to say it's like a 2.5. 2.5. Boom. 2.5. Tree Enforcements. I like the name. Tree Enforcements. It's 1 mana. Choose 1. Give a minion +2 health and taunt, or summon a 2/2 Treant. So it kind of reminds me of Living Roots. But I think it's a little bit worse than Living Roots. Living Roots will summon 2/1/1s or deal 2 damage. I think the deal 2 damage is better than give a minion +2 health. So, and 2/1/1s and 2/2 is pretty comparable. So I think it's a little bit worse than that, but it's still quite good. Quite a flexible card. So I would say this card is... I'm going to go with a 4. Yeah. Wait. It didn't change. There we go. 4. Boom. And it gets a little bit of a bump because it's got a good name. So maybe 4.02. Put it in the books. Next card. Goru the Might Tree. Oh man, they've got a lot of haha jokes in here, huh? The Might Tree, like mighty. I get it. 7 mana 5/10 legendary. 7 mana 5/10 legendary with taunt. Battle cry for the rest of the game. Your treants have +1/+1. So the stats just on the minion are fine, right? 7 mana 5/10 taunt is quite good. So that's Ancient of War stats, right? 7 mana 5/10. Chat will confirm, but I'm pretty sure. So that's good, and you pretty much never uproot unless you're bad at the game. So it's got good stats. I don't think the effect will be all that relevant, but it's still just a good card for the stats. So I would say this card is... I'm going to go with a 4. Ancient of War is really good. Okay. This is a Simpsons reference, right? But I saw people talking about it on Twitter, but I didn't know the reference. Embiggen? Anyhow, 0 mana. Give all minions in your deck +2/+2. They cost 1 more up to 10. So it's a card where if you draw it early, it's okay. +2/+2 is normally worth having a card cost 1 more. But if you draw it late, it's pretty bad. So I don't think it's good. Is it even an average card? I think I just give it like an average rating. I'm gonna give it a 3 because it's one of those I don't want to go super low because it could be better than I'm thinking. +2/+2. If you play it early, it's a lot of stats. I don't know. I think I'll go with 3. I'll go with 3 to be safe. But this is one I'm not entirely sure about. Could be a lot worse. Could be a lot better. Secure the deck. Another side quest. 1 mana. Attack twice with your... Oh, sorry. Attack twice with your hero, and the reward is add 3 claw spells to your hand. So you have to hero power... Let's say for Arena, you're going to hero power twice, and then you get 3 claws. But again, it's one of those cards, kind of like the last one, where it's much better early than late. Like, claws are really good tempo. 1 mana for 2 damage is a lot of tempo. But the problem is you draw it late and you can't really, or in like the mid game, you don't really want to hero power and it's kind of useless. So again, I don't think it's very, very good. I'm gonna go with a 3. It's like 2.5 to 3. Yeah, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go 2.5. I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna drop it down. 2.5. Okay. Breath of Dreams. 2 mana. Draw a card. If you're holding a dragon, gain an empty mana crystal. So worst case scenario, it's 2 mana for a card. And I think... So I'll just talk about it now so I don't have to talk about it again and again. I think there are going to be a lot... Well, I know there are going to be a lot of dragons. And so I think the dragon effect cards will be good. Because I think people are going to have a dragon in hand a lot of the time. So I think these effects are going to trigger a lot. And if you play this on turn 2 for ramp and a card, it's good. But the thing is... Like, even Wild Growth back in the... You get a card, so it's slightly better than Wild Growth on 2. But back in the day, Wild Growth on 2 wasn't even that insane in Arena. Like, a lot of the time, passing turn 2 hurts you quite a bit. So, I'm not sold on this card being, like, insane the nuts. I think it's probably good, but I don't think it's like a top tier card. I'm gonna say it's like a 3.5. If the effect did something on the board, so instead of drawing a card, it drops 2/2 on the board or something, then it would be bonkers insane for Arena. But yeah, this is a little different. All right, Emerald Explorer. This was one of the early cards that was announced. So 6 mana, 4/8 with Taunt and Battlecry, Discover a Dragon. It's also a taunt itself. This card is really insane. I just look at it compared to Stonehill Defender, and Stonehill Defender is a great card, but you have a really big tempo loss on the turn you play it. Stonehill Defender is more flexible because it costs 3 mana instead of 6, but here you play a taunt that is well statted. A 6 mana 4/8 is fine. Pretty good. And you get another taunt, and it has a dragon tag. So it's really, really good. I'm going to go with a 4.5. I think you could argue that this card is like in the 5 range, but I don't think it's quite there. I think it's a very, very good card, 4.5. Ysera Unleashed. So we get a new Ysera card in this expansion. This one, same stats, 9 mana, 4/12. The battle cry is shuffle 7 dream portals into your deck. When drawn, summon a random dragon. So the less cards you have in the deck, the better this is. 7 is a lot, so you have a pretty good chance that you're going to get, if you play it, let's say on turn 9, have to think about how fast the pace of the games is, but I don't think it's going to be super fast. So you have a pretty good chance to pull 1, and even just pulling 1 is probably good value. But it doesn't do anything when you immediately play it, and it doesn't have taunt. So I actually don't think this card is... Like, I think I would rather have that last card than this most of the time. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as insane. It's got a lot of potential, and it could just win you the game. But yeah, I see in chat like Warlock. Yeah, definitely gets a little bit of a boost in Warlock because you get a facilitate or withdraw. If you have draw, it makes it a lot better. I'm gonna go with a 4. It's definitely can be a win condition, but I don't think it's it's not in the 5 range or anything. Oh, in Warlock. Okay, so I just got you baited by chat. It's a Druid card. Can we ban that guy? Who said in Warlock? Can we ban him? Get him out here. No, I'm just kidding. Don't ban him. Yeah, it's a Druid card. 4. Moving on. All right. Never trust chat. It's the first thing you should learn as a streamer. All right. So that was all the Druid cards. What I'm going to do this time, since we have them all here in one place, how good are the Druid cards? Embiggen is cut off a little bit, but... not that insane. Like, Emerald Explorer is really good, but... Feels like the Druid package is just a little bit better for maybe Constructed than Arena. All right, moving on to Hunter, and starting with Stormhammer. Really, really, really good. 3 mana, 3/2. Doesn't lose durability when you control a dragon. So it's a Fiery War Axe, and if you control a dragon, of which there are lots of them, you can use it a lot. And, for Hunter, which class likes to go face a lot, I can see you just using this, just smack him in the face each turn in the mid-game as you control a dragon. So I think it's really, really good. And weapons just tend to be great anyways. So I'm going to go with... It's between a 4 and a 4.5. I'll go with a 4. But, yeah. It's very good. Diving Griffin. 3 mana, 4/1 Rush. Battlecry, draw a Rush minion from your deck. And it has the Beast tag on it as well. So, basically a Shadow Bolt. You can't, send it past a taunt or something, but generally it'll be a Shadow Bolt. And you get another Rush card from your deck. And I feel like there are a decent number of Rush cards that have been printing this expansion. And I'm sure there's some coming back from the other sets. So, it's quite good. It feels kind of similar in power level to the last card, like maybe in the It's like 3.5 to 4-ish, I would say. Like, I think the other card's better, so I guess we'll go with a 3.5. But, like, I would definitely draft the weapon over this, I think. But, yeah, they're both really good. Varanus, whatever. Varanus! 6 mana, 7/6 dragon. Battle cry, change the health of all enemy minions to 1. This card is really nasty. In a good way. It's... So I just foresee situations where you have a bunch of tokens, you know, and they play a big taunt, and then you're like, oop, I will kill that with my token, and then I will also develop a 7/6, which is an offensively well-statted 6-drop. So I think it's really, really good. I'm gonna go with a 4.5. 4.5. Oops, I just typed 3.5. 4.5. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's 5. What will get the cut for 5? I think something will. Stay tuned. Okay. Clear the way. This is a hunter side quest. Summon 3 rush minions reward. Summon a 4/4 griffin with rush. 3 rush minions I feel like is a lot. Like, obviously we have that pass card where that gives you essentially 2. But 1, you'd have to draft that card. 2, you would have to draw it. And then you'd have to draw an additional rush card on top of it. I don't know if there are that many rush cards. So this card feels... And the reward is good, but like... it's not going to be very consistent. So I think this one's pretty weak. I'm going to go with a 1.5. 1.5. Corrosive Breath. 2 mana. Oh boy, this one's good. 2 mana, deal 3 damage to a minion. If you're holding a dragon, it also hits the enemy hero. So people that have played this game for a long time, there used to be a card called Cobra Shot, which did this. It was non-conditional. Unconditional? Anyhow. You didn't have to be holding a dragon, but it costs 5 mana. This costs 2 mana. So even if you don't have a dragon, it's really good. Deal 3 to a minion is just good. For 2, and if you have a dragon, it's disgusting. So, really, really good. I think it's... Man, it's definitely 4 to 4.5 range again. 4 or 4.5. Doesn't matter, Drew. Just pick one. Just pick one. 4... Let's go 4. I'll go with 4. Okay. Okay. Chat agrees 4. That's what's important. Chat needs to agree. All right. Oh, baby. Primordial Explore. 3 mana, 2/3. So you're like, it's understated. No, it's got poisonous, so it's a cobra. Battlecry, discover a dragon. So you play a minion that is good on curve, and it gives you a dragon, and it has the dragon card or dragon tag on it as well. I genuinely think this card is a 5. I think it is. It's not the best card ever printed, but if you're gonna have a 5 rating, I think this definitely qualifies. It's good tempo, it's good value, and it activates other synergy. It's just really, really insane. All right. Toxic Reinforcements. This card was not made because of me. I just want you guys to understand that. It's nothing to do with me. 1 mana side quest. I guess all side quests are 1 mana. I don't have to say that every time. Side quest, use your hero power 3 times. Reward, summon 3 1/1 leper gnomes. So it's basically you can deal 6 damage, plus the 1/1's can attack. I mean, in a very aggressive hunter deck, this could be quite good. Because even if you draw it like in the mid game, it's fine because you generally don't want to start hero powering until later on. So I think it's okay. It does take up a slot. I'm gonna say it's like okay. I'm gonna say it's a 3. It's somewhere between like 2. It's like 2.5 to 3, but I'll go with 3. Dragonbane, 4 mana, 3/5 mech. After you use your hero power, deal 5 damage to a random enemy. Oh my god! Like, why 5? Couldn't it just be like 3 or 4 or something? 5 damage? I mean, it's random, but like if you play it on empty board, you can deal 7 to their face if you count the hero power. So, this thing's really good. I'm gonna say it's a 4.5. You could say it's slightly understated because it's a 4 mana 3/5 compared to like a Yeti, but it's still that's okay with that effect. All right. Dwarven Sharpshooter, 1 mana, 1/3. Your hero power can target minions. So 1 mana 1/3s are good. That's like a premium stat line for 1-drops, and it's got a an upside. So I think it's really, really good. I'm gonna say this one's like a 4. I would say. If you're a good hunter player, you don't use the hero power for minions. You use it for face. Am I right? Well, not always. It's pretty good. Okay. Phase Stalker. 2 mana, 2/3. After you use your hero power, cast a secret from your deck. It's got the beast tag. So 2 mana, 2/3 beasts are really good in Hunter. And generally there's enough okay secrets. Did we get any secrets this expansion? Can't remember. Did we get any new secrets? Did we? I don't think so, right? Okay. But there should still be enough secrets for this to be somewhat viable. And the thing is, worst case, it's a 2 mana 2/3 beast, which is still good. So I'm gonna say this is like a 3.5. In some situations, it could be really, really good. Like if you do get a lot of good secrets, but I think in general, this is a fair rating for it. All right, that's it. That's all the Hunter cards. All right. So what do we think of the Hunter cards overall? They're pretty good, honestly. Like Stormhammer, Diving Griffin, Primordial Explorer, Varanus. I mean, legendaries you aren't going to see that much. But Dwarven Sharpshooter, Phase Stalker, they're pretty good. Okay. On to everyone's favorite class. Mage. Yeah, Mage. The Flame Strike class. Here we go. Elemental Allies. This is a side quest. Play an elemental 2 turns in a row. Reward, draw 3 spells from your deck. So targeted draw 3 spells from your deck. So you need to have 3 spells in your deck for it to be good. I don't know how many elementals there are right now. Like, I don't think they announced that many. There's a 3-drop. I mean, we'll see as we go through, but I don't know how many elementals are in rotation. You need a lot for this to be good, and even if you have the elementals, you'd also need the spells, so I think it's a little bit underwhelming. I'm going to say this is like a 1.5. Maybe that's slightly low, but I don't know. I just don't see it. Too many moving parts. They did 3 class elementals expansion? Okay, but even then, I don't know. Too situational, I think. Dude, I love this card. It's just, I like the art. We're gonna definitely have to craft this golden. Just look at it. Like you can just some cards you can just tell, right? Like look at that. That is gonna be sick in golden. Violet Spellwing, 1 mana, 1/1. Death Rattle. Add an Arcane Missile spell to your hand. So Arcane Missiles is surprisingly useful in Arena. You don't always want to spend a card on it, but here you get a 1/1 and you get the missiles. So it's something that can help you fight for the board early, and it gives you a spell back. So I like it. It's quite good. I don't think it's overpowered or anything. It's somewhere between, I would say, like a 3.5 and a 4. I'm going to go with a 3.5. But yeah, it's somewhere between that, a 3.5 and a 4. Quite good. All right, Mana Giant. 8 mana, 8/8. Costs 1 less for each card you played this game that didn't start in your deck. So that works for like this one too. Like this would because the Arcane Missiles didn't start in your deck, that would count for it. Okay, interesting. So I was trying to think earlier about how much generation there's going to be. People were saying there's quite a bit. Like if there is quite a bit, this card can be really good. It's very deck specific. Like if you don't have ways to generate cards, then it's really bad. Like an 8 mana 8/8 that doesn't have taunt is really bad. So it's not going to be consistently great in Arena, but I think it has upside. And I'm going to say it's like a 3. So maybe 3 point. No, I think this is a 3. I'm not convinced you'll get enough generation to make it good. And this is, again, these are on average. It doesn't mean it won't work for certain decks. Okay. Rolling Fireball. The Poor Man's Meteor. 5 mana, deal 8 damage to a minion. Any excess damage continues to the left or right. It's really good. It's really, like, it's not as good as Meteor, but, like, how many cards are, on the level of Meteor? Like, Meteor is a 5-star card, no doubt, right? I like it because it's pretty flexible. So it can be like an explosive shot. Do you guys know? So let's say you have like a 4 health minion in the middle and a 2 health minion on the left and a 2 health minion on the right. And you rolling Fireball the middle. It won't kill both things, right? Like it will only roll left or right. So you'll be left with a 2/2 even though there's 8 damage on the board or 8 health on the board. Is that correct? That's why I'm understanding it, right? Yeah, only one way on one side. Okay. Yeah, because that would be really disgusting if it was just like like a Reno effect that just kills everything. But why would you not roll? I guess if you do it on the 2/2, then it just keeps rolling, huh? 2, 4. Okay, so it would work then. Yeah, like even if it would work if you hit if it's like 4, 2, 2 and you shoot one of the 2s, it could only roll one way. So it will roll an extra. I guess my question is, will it roll an extra time? Like, can you do 2, then 4, then 2, or does it only roll once? Does anyone know? It won't change directions. Yeah, no, I understand that. But will it roll an additional time onto a third minion? It only rolls once. It should. Okay, we're not sure. I don't think it matters too much, but it does make it. If it rolls multiple times, it can basically be AOE that just rolls. I don't know. I feel like that would be too strong because then it's just like all purpose. So if there's a board full of like 4 2/2s, you can do it and just kills everything. I think that's a bit too strong. I think if it has any excess damage, it continues to the left like once, is my guess. Anyhow, I'm going to give it a 4.5 because I think it's really good removal. Removal's important. It's definitely a 4.5 if it continues to roll multiple times. But, yeah, it's still like 4 to 4.5 even if that's not the case. I'm guessing it only rolls once, but any excess damage continues to the left or right. Anyhow, we'll get confirmation at some point. But very good. Dragoncaster, 6 mana, 4/4. Battle Cry. If you're holding, I actually paused because like, wait, it's not a dragon, but I guess the Dragoncaster is the unit on top of the dragon here. So, but anyhow, I got distracted. Battle Cry, if you're holding a dragon, your next spell this turn costs 0. So you get a tempo out of 4/4. If you have a big spell, it can be good. I'm just remembering, what is the name of that card, the 5/5? There was a 5/5 where if you had no duplicates, you got a free spell that turn. It's kind of like that, but it's probably a little bit easier to go off because you don't have to tailor your deck for it. Yeah, Inkmaster Solia or Solio, whatever. Yeah, that one. I don't know, man. Again, it's situational. You need to have a big spell. I guess even if you hit like a Frostbolt or something, it's not the worst though, right? Should be a decent amount of spells. I think it's okay. I'm gonna go with like a... Yeah, I think 2.5 is fair. Chat's gonna say I'm copying them by 2 point something. I think it's either 2.5 to 3, somewhere in that range. Okay. What about box? We don't talk about puzzle box here. That makes me sad. We don't talk about cards that make me sad. All right. They not print a new big mage spell except for Malagos. Yeah. So I think it won't be all that consistent. We will have Firelands. Like Firelands is still going to be around, so obviously that with Firelands is great. You get a 4/4 and a drop from it, but yeah. Okay, Arcane Breath. 1 mana, deal 2 damage to a minion if you're holding a dragon. Discover a spell. Really, really good because it's a targeted 2 damage for 1 mana, which is kind of similar to Arcane Blast. Like Arcane Blast was modified by spell power, but generally it was 1 mana deal 2 to a minion, which was good. Oftentimes it would make your turns a little smoother, easy to fit in. Here you have the upside of if you have a dragon, you get a spell, so you can use it to dig for stuff, and it's just really flexible and really good. These cards that are good for tempo, but also give you value are just really nutty. How good is it? It's like a 4 to 4.5, I would say. I mean, I think you're going to have a dragon a lot of the time, but I think it's still 4. 4.5 seems a little high, but it's yeah, really good. Chinvala. 3 mana, 2/5. After you cast 3 spells in a turn, summon a 5/5 elemental. So it's a legendary card, elemental tag. It's good because the 3 mana 2/5s are fine. It's very unlikely you'll get the effect off. Like obviously, if you get the effect off, it's insane, but that's really unlikely. 3 spells in a turn. I mean, I guess with that 1 mana card and you get the generate arcane missiles, it's possible. And Mage just has some cheap spells, but I don't think it's very likely. It's okay. 3 mana 2/5s are fine, and it has a potential for upside. So I'll go 3.5. It's like 3 to 3.5. Malagos, Aspect of Magic. Battlecry. If you're holding a dragon, discover an upgraded mage spell. Does it have the upgraded mage spells on here? I'm sure I can pull it up somewhere. But basically, they're really nutty. Like, the spells are really good. Do you guys remember all the different ones? They're versions of Flame Strike, Polymorph, Frostbolt, etc., but they're like upgraded versions of it. So it's pretty sick. Yeah, there's like a 1 mana Kabbalah's Tome. Yeah, the 2/8. Yeah, oh yeah, 8 damage Flame Strike. Yeah, but 5 mana 2/8. How bad is that? I mean, sometimes you play like a 4 mana 2/6, and it's not the end of the world. It's definitely bad stats, but I think the spell makes up for it. So I think it will still be good. How good? I'm going to go with a 4. Could be a little bit higher because like an 8 mana Flame Strike is pretty disgusting. But yeah, you have to make sure you pick the right spell for the moment. Azure Explorer. 4 mana 2/3. Spell damage +2. Battlecry, discover a dragon. 4 mana 2/3 is pretty crappy. Like, yes, it is spell damage, but that's a pretty weak turn 4 play. It's still decent value, but I feel like you can get value in other places in this expansion and not play a 4 mana 2/3. Like, if it's a 3 mana 2/3 and had the fact it's, good. It's like 3. I'm going to go with a 3.5. 3? Maybe 3. Honestly, I feel like it's a 3. Like, if you have spells to make use of spell damage, you can have an okay turn with it. But other than that, it's like... I think it's a little bit too understated. Okay. Oh, you found the link? Thank you. Thanks, Theo Hell, but I'm not gonna go through it. But yeah, people can look up the spells, the powerful spells from Malygos. They're very good. Okay, Learn Draconic side quest. Spend 8 mana on spells. Summon a 6/6 dragon. 8 mana on spells. This feels like one of the better side quests. Am I crazy? Because, like, maybe I'm overestimating how often you'll have a Firelands. But if you play one Firelands, it's basically active. You need to play one more spell. Arcane Missiles and Firelands, and then you get a 6/6 dragon. I think it's pretty good. Like, I don't think it'll be that hard to trigger. And basically in classic backs, like Flame Strike or whatever, right? I think it's pretty good. I'm going to say this is like a 3.5. I don't know if it's quite a 4, but I think it's pretty solid. All right. That's it. So what do we think of the Mage cards? Arcane Breath is cut off, but obviously that's a good one. Fireball's nutty. Mana Giant situational, but could be good. Spellwing's really good. Learn Draconic is alright. Pretty good. Yeah. They're good. They're good cards. Okay, what's next? Paladin. I think the Hunter set might be a little bit better, though. Okay, Paladonger. Starting with Lightforged Zealot. So, well, I'll talk about it after we mention the card. So it's a 4-mana, 4/2 battle cry. If your deck has no neutral cards, equip a 4/2 True Silver Champion. 4/2 True Silver Champion. So the whole thing, no neutral cards, is going to be really hard to pull off in Arena. Like, there are some cards that manipulate your deck, so that could happen. Don't do the thing where you're like, okay, I get this card early. I'm just not going to take any neutrals, because one, I don't think you'll be able to. I think you'll be forced into taking some neutrals. And two, it probably makes your deck really worse for one card that you'll, like, never draw. So don't do that. It's basically a 4-mana 4/2, which is bad. And I think that's just kind of the case for these no neutral cards. Like, they're clearly cards for Constructed. I don't even know if they really should be in Arena. I guess it's okay to have just some bad cards in Arena, and maybe you'll be able to meme and make it work, but yeah. It's pretty bad. I'm going to give it, like... How about as a 4-mana 4/2? That's the rating I give it. A 4-mana 4/2. When it works, though, it never works. It's a 1. It never works. I mean, 1 out of a million, right? That's basically never. So you're telling me there's a chance? Dumb and Dumber. Who knew it? Who knew that reference? Okay. Lightforged Crusader. 7 mana, 7/7. Battlecry. If your deck has no neutral cards, add 5 random Paladin cards to your hand. So again, it's just not going to happen. So how bad is a 7 mana 7/7? A 7 mana 7/7 is probably better than a 4 mana 4/2. So I'd say this one's like a 1.5. Obviously, if it does happen, it's way better, and that's why it's a 1.5, not a 1. But I think it's like a 1.5. It's just Wargolem sucks, right? You don't want to play Wargolem. Okay, Skyclaw. 3 mana 1/2 mech. Your other mechs have +1 attack, and it summons 2 1/1 microcopters, which I'm assuming are mechs. So you get a 1/2 and then 2 2/1s, at least when you play it. Obviously, once it dies, they're just 1/1. So in Paladin, that's a decent amount of spread for 3 mana. On that turn, if you have the board, 2 2/1s and a 1/2. But... there aren't that many mechs, so it's basically you're just buffing those 2 minions, and then after that it's kind of eh. It's like, okay. I'm gonna give it like a 3. It's okay. I don't think this card's that great. 3. It's like 3 to 3.5. It's all right. This is not the mech expansion. This is the dragon expansion. Okay, Righteous Cause. Side quest. Summon 5 minions. Reward. Give your minions +1/+1. This is garbage. It's so bad. So it's summon, but still. So obviously you could like combo it, but you have to summon 5 minions, and so like you need a board, right? So you can summon 5 minions, but if the 5th minion you play is the only minion you have on the board, then you get +1/+1, and you paid a card for it in the early game to do it. I don't like it. I think it's pretty weak. I'm gonna say it's like 2.5 maybe. I'll say it's a 2.5 because I can see that the summon thing is interesting to me. Like I'd have to go back and look at about how many cards we have that are summon. Like I don't think the Dude Summoner is in the 5 mana card where you get 5/1/1s. But if you like play this and then play that immediately, then boom, it just triggers and you get a board full of 2/2s, which is pretty good. So, do tokens count? I'm assuming, yeah. I'm assuming hero power works. It's still a minion, right? Summon, so it should. Okay. Bronze Explorer. Oh, look how cute this little dude is. 3 mana, 2/3 dragon, life steal, battle cry, discover a dragon. All right, so this compared to like the Mage card. The Mage card was a 4 mana, 2/3. You had a spell power, but it's 4 mana, 2/3, and doesn't have life steal. So this is much better than that card. Playing a 3 mana, it's worse than the Hunter one. Like the Hunter one, I give a 5. It's not a 5 because a 3 mana, 2/3 is still weak on curve, and there's a lot of Spire tanks coming back. But it's still good. I would say this is like a 4. It's like 3.5 to 4. Paladin's a class where you don't really want to play a 3 mana 2/3. Like you really want to be ahead on the board, but I still think it's got enough potential to be a 4. Okay, Sanctuary. 2 mana. Oh, wait, this side quest is 2 mana, so they aren't all 1 mana. All right, 2 mana side quest. Take no damage for a turn. Reward summon a 3/6 minion with taunt. This is the most interesting of the side quest cards. And I think I'll have to play with it to see just how good it feels, but 2 mana for a 3/6 minion with taunt is insane. A 2 mana Fin Creeper. And it's if you get ahead on the board, which Paladin does really well, it's going to be very difficult for your opponent to keep you from getting this. Because if you're a mage, you can't really like ping their face every turn. Like maybe Rogue can kind of hit their face with a dagger, but that's still really bad for the opponent. So I think this card is quite good. And even if you draw in the late game, like again, if Paladin's off the board, they're probably losing anyway. So at any point, if you get a 2 mana 3/6, I think that's fine. I think this is a 4. And probably the highest rated of the... I'm trying to remember the other side quests, but I think it's probably the highest rated of them. Okay, Amber Watcher. Do you guys remember Minibot? Who remembers Minibot? Heals your face, 5 mana 3/3. Alright, so this is a 5 mana 4/8, or 4/6, not 4/8, thank God. 5 mana 4/6, Amber Watcher. It's a dragon tag, battle cry, restore 8 health. 8 health is a lot. And it's restore, like you can target it, so it's like Shroomburr effect, right? You can heal up a minion. Like basically a Hosen healer, not many minions have more than 8 health. Or if you're getting aggro down, 8 healing to your face is a ton. So this card is really, really good. How much better is it than like Shroomburr? It's kind of similar. Probably a little bit better than Shroomburr because its stats are better. It's like between a 4 and a 4.5. I'm going to go with a 4.5. That might be a little high, but I think it's really good. Yeah. I'm going to go with a 4.5. Because again, the dragon tag is going to be valuable unless you get hit by the 4 mana 8/8 rush, but we'll talk about that later. I'll go on a rant about that later. But we'll save that for another time. Okay. Dragon Rider Talritha. 3 mana 3/3. Death Rattle, give a dragon in your hand +3/+3 and this Death Rattle. So the idea is you can, if you have a lot of dragons in your hand, you buff one of them, then you play that, then you buff the other dragon. In theory, you're gonna you're gonna need a lot of dragons to make that work. But even if you just get one buff, it's pretty sick. So it's good. How good? It's still, you still play a slightly understated minion on 3, I'd say. I'm gonna say it's like a 3.5. I don't think it's quite a 4. 3.5. But there will be times where like you freaking chain this into another one, It's brutal. Okay. Nozdormu the Timeless. 4 mana, 8/8 dragon. Set each player to 10 mana crystals. So it's good. I think it's good. Okay. Because here's the thing, right? You play this on turn 4, which is the worst time you can possibly play it, because it's empty mana crystals. It doesn't like give you the 10 mana to use, right? So you play this on 4, your opponent gets 10 mana for the next turn. And, you know, that's obviously you ramp them a ton, but then you get 10 mana the next turn. And you have an 8/8 on the board. So they have to use mana to remove your 8/8, or, you know, play enough minions to overwhelm an 8/8. And even then, I think it will be okay. So, and in the late game, you just play a 4 mana 8/8, right? If it's like turn 10, you don't care about the effect. You just get a 4 mana 8/8 is sick. So I think this card is really good. It might make for some weird games, but I think it's really good. I'm gonna say it's like, it's between a 4 and a 4.5. Hi, Cookie. Not now, sweetie. I'm gonna have to lock you up. I'm gonna go with a 4. Hey. I'll play with you after, okay? Are you okay? I'm gonna put you in the bedroom. You like in here. Chat's gonna be mad, but we'll play later, Cookie, okay? Alright. Anyhow, 4. Moving on. Sand Breath. 1 mana, give a minion +1/+2. +1/+2, give it Divine Shield if you're holding a dragon. So we had a 1 mana give a minion +1/+2 before. And it was like, because the thing is, paying a whole card for that felt pretty bad. But now you get a Divine Shield and +1/+2 if you have a dragon, which makes it way, way better. So this card's quite good. Even in the worst case where you don't have a dragon, it's not like it still could do something. So I'm gonna say it's like a 3.5 to 4. I'll go with a 3.5. 3.5. And you notice how high these ratings are. I really think that's just how this expansion is. Like, the power level is really, really high. All right. Okay, Paladin. So how's Paladin? Sanctuary is cut off. It's a good card. Bronze Explorer, I think, is good. Skyclaw's okay. Paladin's going to get hurt a little bit by having 2 cards that have this neutral effect thing, which doesn't really do much. I think Nas is good. Amber Watcher is quite good. It's like okay. All right. Moving on to Priest. Priest, yay. Priest, a class of people either love or hate, right? In Arena. I tend to love it, but except when Psychic Scream's around. I hate that card. All right, Whispers of Evil. 0 mana, add a lackey to your hand. When I first saw this card, I thought it was 0 mana, discover a lackey, and I was like, oh god. Thankfully, it's not that, because that would be a little bit strong. But still, like getting a lackey for 0 mana is good, because even if you low roll the lackey, it's probably still going to be useful. So I think it's quite good. I'm gonna go with a 3.5 again. I think that's fair, because sometimes the power of lackeys is figuring out, like, they're all good, but depending on the situation, they can be kind of useless sometimes. So, but it's good. It's good. Oh yeah, the flavor text. Madame Lazul's ASMR program is off to a promising start. Did you guys like that? Oh, I broke it. Okay, we're back. Grave Rune. For 4 mana, give a minion Death Rattle, summon 2 copies of this. I'm a little scared about this card. I'm not sure if I should be. I'm just foreseeing like the scary moments where, you know, a priest gets a minion to stick, and all of a sudden you're getting 2 8/8s out after they trade off an 8/8 or something, and that's just very scary. So, it's 4 mana. It's not that cheap. It's not that flexible. But even if you use it on like a 4/4, right? And get 2 4/4s back, it's still good, right? I think it's like a 4. I think it's like a 4. And it's one of those cards where it has the potential to be... Whoops, why does it say 3.5? I change it. It has the potential to be way better than that, but it also has the potential to be kind of a dead card if you can't get something good to stick. So, but I think 4 is fair. Disciple of Galakron. I'm just going to skip anything that says Invoke and Galakron on it. That's for another review. Murazon the Infinite. Oh, and I guess I should say the reason that I'm doing that is because the Galakron cards are not going to be draftable. And as far as I know, the Invoke cards also will not be draftable. So you can probably still discover them, but in generally they're not going to be in Arena. All right. Murazon the Infinite. 8 mana, 8/8 dragon. Battlecry, play all cards your opponent played last turn. It's really good. Because it's an 8 mana, 8/8. Is, you know, it's not what you want to be playing on turn 8, but it's still, you know, a big dude. And your opponent likely played a lot of stuff the previous turn because you're at 8 mana. And if they didn't, you're probably winning anyways. Like, if your opponent didn't play anything, you played 8 at 8/8, that's good enough. So, I think it's really, really good. I'm going to say it's a 4.5. I don't know about 5. I don't know. I think it's a 4.5. But it's like between 4.5 and 5. All right. We need to have quarter numbers. All right, Chrono Breaker. 5 mana, 4/5 dragon. Oh, this card. If you're holding a dragon, deal 3 damage to all enemy minions. Like, I like Priest, but I hate stuff like this. Like, Duskbreaker was already broken, and Duskbreaker Duskbreaker damages your own board. Oh, wait, it's a Death Rattle. Wait, you know what? What's funny? I actually did the same thing when I looked this card initially, and you would have thought I would have remembered, but it turns out I don't. I did the exact same thing. Okay, it's Death Rattle. That makes it not as good. I literally had this conversation like a week ago when this was announced. Death Rattle. I still think it's good, though. But it's not like I don't need to puke about it. I still think it's good. Because it makes things really awkward for your opponent. And if you play it when you're ahead and you can dictate the trades, it's still good. I still think it's like a 4. But yeah, thank God it's not a Battlecry. Okay, that's okay. Never mind. I was thinking I was going to become a BG only streamer, but no, it's not. It's not what I thought. 4. Mind Flayer Karaj. 3 mana, 3/3. Battlecry. Choose an enemy minion. Death Rattle. Summon a new copy of it. Thankfully, this is a legendary. Because it's really stupid, I think. Because even if you just use it on a 4/4 or something, a 3/3 that spawns a 4/4 is insane. And if you talk about the late game, you know, you're battling for the board and you play this on their 8/8, you know, it's like, what do you do? If you don't have a silence, you're going to have to try to race them, and then it's pretty easy to trade off because it's a 3/3. It's not like it has a bunch of health and you have trouble trading it off or something. So it's, I think it's really, really good. It's like between a 4 and a 4.5. I think it's a 4.5. I think it's that good. Because even the worst case, it's going to be okay. I think it's really, really good. Breath of the Infinite. 3 mana, deal 2 damage to all minions if you're holding a dragon, only damage enemies. So at worst, it's a Volcanic Potion, and Volcanic Potion is really good. Right? Volcanic Potion's a really good card. But you can get it where it only damages the enemy board if you have a dragon. It's really, really disgusting. I'm going to say this is a 4.5. Because AoE is premium in Priest. And I think, again, because there's so many dragons, oftentimes it will only hit the opponent's board, which is disgusting. So, 4.5. Envoy of Lazul. 2 mana, 2/2, Battlecry. Look at 3 cards. Guess which one is in your opponent's hand to get a copy of it. Did we get confirmation on this card, guys? Are all 3 cards in your opponent's deck and only one in their hand? Or is it just 3 random cards and 1 is in their hand? Yes? Yes, they're all in the deck? Or... because in Arena, getting that kind of information is really, really useful. Okay, yeah. All 3 are in their deck. Okay, so it gives you that info. And I wonder if you get it wrong, if it will tell you which one it is. I'm not sure if it will or not. It doesn't matter too much for the rating, but that's additional info it gives. Playing a 2/2 kind of sucks, but it gives info and can give you a card. So, and it's also one of those cards where you pick the card that's best for you in the situation, if you're not sure. So I would say... if it's a 2/3, it's insane. But it's not a 2/3, it's a 2/2. 3.5? 3.5? I'm going to go with 3.5. Like, yeah, it takes a little bit to play a 2-minute 2/2, but it's not the end of the world. 3.5. Fate Weaver. 4 mana, 3/6 dragon. Battlecry if you've invoked... oh, invoke. Skip. God, the invoke was so far down. Actually, it wasn't that far down. I just didn't see it. Skip. Damn. I'm kind of glad this isn't an arena, too. Destroy a minion. Great. Yeah, that's what Priest needs. Just destroy a minion. Wonderful. But, yeah, invoke, it shouldn't be. Alright, yeah, we're not doing Galakron. Okay, so how are the Priest cards? Whispers of Evil is pretty solid. Grave Rune could be insane. Murazon's a legendary, but it's obviously good. Chronobreaker's good. Not a lot of, I guess both of these are common and they're really good, so. This card's disgusting. Priest is going to be pretty good, I think. Alright, moving on. To Roge. Oh, and we get greeted by this thing. Okay, Rogue. Bloodsail Flybooter. 1 mana, 1/1 pirate. Battlecry, add 2 1/1 pirates to your hand. So it does remind me a lot of Firefly, where you play a token and then you get some more tokens. I don't think it's quite as good as Firefly because 1/2s are significantly better than 1/1s. This obviously gives you 3 1/1s instead of 2 1/2s, but it's still good. In a class where combo activators are really important, and sometimes you don't turn 3, you want a dagger, but here you can also play a 1/1. So it's I think it's quite good. I would say Firefly is like a 4.5. So I would say this is like a 4, because I think it's a little bit worse than that. But 1-drops are really good in Rogue, and it's a 1-drop that makes your curve a lot better. Read the flavor text. They're pretty fly for some pirate guys. Dun, dun, nah. Okay. Is that what you guys wanted? You happy now? Stowaway. 5 mana, 4/4. Battlecry. If there are cards in your deck that didn't start there, draw 2 of them. 5 mana, 4/4, so it's pretty understated. And it cards... so what's the most likely way that you're going to get cards in your deck that didn't start there in Rogue right now? Is there that much stuff? I don't think there's that much. It's like, like Togwaggle's Scheme or something, or opponent puts him there. Yeah, but still, I think this card's pretty garbage. I'm going to say it's a 2. I don't think it's going to happen. And it's understated. All right. Oh boy, chat. Thankfully, it's legendary. 6 mana, 4/4. Flick Skyshiv. Battle Cry. Destroy a minion and all copies of it wherever they are. So it's like Vilespine, but it costs 1 more mana, but doesn't have to be comboed and has 1 more attack. So it's bonkers. It's like insane. It's a clear 5 for me. The whole thing about destroying the copies of it wherever they are, like, yeah, that probably doesn't matter a whole lot for Arena, but it's just a disgusting card. All right, Necrium Apothecary. 4 mana, 2/5. Combo, draw a Death Rattle minion from your deck and gain its Death Rattle. I'm trying to think about what Death Rattles we're going to have. Are we going to have really bonkers Death Rattles? Because in general, this kind of seems like okay, but the stat line is pretty weak, and if you don't hit a good... Like, you'd have to hit a good Death Rattle. Just hitting any Death Rattle, I don't think makes it good, because a 2/5 is pretty crappy. Yeah, Bone Drake. I mean, sure, there are definitely things, but... I'm going to say it's like a 3, because there's some potential. But... Also, like, comboing a 4-mana card... So let's say you play at best case on turn 5, and then, I don't know. I don't really like it. It's okay. For this expansion, it seems like low on the power level side. Alright. Dragon's Horde. 1 mana, discover a legendary minion from another class. Oh, man. I mean, who cares if it's good or not? It's just fun, right? Like, these are the kind of cards I love. Chat knows I would never pass Hallucinate for a better card. Ever, right? Vilespine Slayer, I don't care. Give me that Hallucinate. So, we will never pass this card because we care more about having fun than winning, right? It's also good. Like, you get... Because you can low roll a legendary, but if you discover and they're class legendaries, they're probably going to be really good. So, I think it's quite good. 4? Maybe 4.5. You know, I'll give it a 4.5. Who doesn't love some legendaries? And I really think if you... Discovering class legendaries should be broken. Alright. Next one. Candle Breath. 6 mana, draw 3 cards, costs 3 less while you're holding a dragon. So, Arcane Intellect, that gives you 1 extra card if you have a dragon. It's pretty good. Like, sometimes Rogue doesn't have great card draw. Like, you don't want to... Like, Sprints is too expensive. So, having a 3-mana card draw is pretty sick. And again, I think dragons are going to be pretty common. So, I'm going to say this is a 3.5. Like, it's much easier to fit something like this into your turn than... I mean, I know I'm using Sprint a lot, but Sprint is just like, right? But this seems okay. Alright. Waxadread. This could have been my reveal too, but never dreads veal. Anyhow, 5 mana, 7/5. Death Rattle, shuffle a candle into your deck that resummons Waxadread when drawn. It's also a dragon. So a 5 mana, 7/5 is pretty good. It's an aggressively statted minion, so like it's pretty good. And then you're very unlikely to draw it, but if you do, it's obviously disgusting. So I think it's a little bit above average, but you're not. It's pretty unlikely for you to draw it. So I would say it's like a 3.5. That seems fair. Like maybe it's closer. Maybe it's on the. Oh, is it a 4? I don't think it's a 4. Because if it was a 5/7, then I think it would be a 4. Okay, a 5/7 would be insane. That would be like a 4.5. Okay, a 5/6, let's say. Like, it's overstated in the wrong way. Generally, you want more health. I think 3.5 is fair. All right. Umbral Stalker. 4 mana, 3/3. Battle Cry if you've been invoked. Nope. Nope, skip it. Invoke, skip. Ah. Oh my god, that's a lot of invoking. All right, so none of those cards are in. How's Rogue looking? That card's bonkers, but won't see it that much. This card's quite good. Crap. Not very good. Good. Nah, there's a couple really good ones, so Rogue should still be good. Shaman time. Shaman time. Hold on, let me get some more caffeine. Caffeine and water, chat. And I ASMR between talking about cards to save my voice. Alright. Squall Hunter. 4 mana, 5/7 dragon. Spell damage +2, overload 2. Imagine paying 4 mana and overloading 2 and not even getting a 7/7. What? What is this? The rest of the expansion is like insane power level. And you gotta... Oh, it's a 4 mana 5/7? Like, what the heck? Alright, how good is this? Spell damage +2 and Shaman can be pretty good. I think Maelstrom Portal is coming back. So obviously this with that is disgusting. Deal 3 damage and get a 1-drop for 6 mana, let's say. Well, it's technically 8 mana, I guess, because you overload. But I'm not sure. It depends on how likely you are to get spells. Because if you take the spell damage out of it, a 4 mana 5/7 overload 2 is pretty underwhelming, right? I mean, it still trades well. Like generally, I guess the thing is, like, generally a 5 attack is enough to free kill a 4-drop, right? So it still should be good. Take out a Yeti or even a 5/5 or whatever. Huh. I'm gonna say it's a 4. But it's between like a 3.5 and a 4 for me. I think it's pretty good. Alright. Dragon's Pack. 5 mana, summon 2... invoke! I'm getting better at this. Skip it. Skip it. Skip it. Alright. Storm's Wraith. 1 mana, give your minions +1/+1 overload 1. So it's a strictly worse Mark of the Lotus, but Mark of the Lotus is like bonkers. I think this is quite good. Obviously, like, it's a class that is totems, so you get extra value from tokens. And if you compare it to Power of the Wild, which you generally want to play as a buff, it's the same amount of mana as that. So, really good. How good would I rate, like, Mark of the Lotus? Mark of the Lotus is, like, clearly 4.5, right? Maybe 5. Mark of the Lotus might be a 5. It's between a 4 and a 4.5. I'm gonna say it's a... I think it's a 4.5, honestly. Like, I think... Because flexible buffs like this are just so good. I don't know how much spread we get for Shaman right now, but... This should be really, really good. And I would say it's better... Like, I would say it's better than Power of the Wild when played as a buff because it's easier to fit into a big turn, right? Like, you might not have 2 mana after you play your spread stuff, but you have 1 mana and you're able to make it work. So, I think it's quite good. Alright, Surging Tempest. 1 mana, 1/3, has +1 attack while you have overloaded mana crystals. Wait, that's it? Wait, it doesn't, like, gain more attack every time you overload? What is this garbage 1-drop? Back in my day, we had a card called Tunnel Trog. And that little guy just kept growing. What is this? Best case, it's a 1 mana 2/3. Unplayable. Okay, it's still good. It's still good. Like, a 1 mana 1/3 is fine. It also has the elemental tag. And if you do get some overload, then it's a 2/3, which is obviously really, really good. So it's like, I would say it's like a 4. You know, 1/3 stat line is great. A little bit of upside. It's like 3.5 to 4. I'll go with 4. Won't be that hard to overload, right? Okay. Corrupt, invoke. Skip it. Bander Smosh. I love the card art on this. I want to see what this one is in golden. 5 mana, 5/5. Each turn this is in your hand, transform it into a 5/5 copy of a random legendary minion. Chat will love this card. It should be good because you get a 5/5 stat line, so things with death rattles and things like that from legendary cards. Like Tyrion or something, pretty sick. So I think it's good. How good? Like a 4 maybe? There's still quite a bit of RNG involved, but like a 4? It's like 4. I'd say 4. 4 to 4.5. Okay, if I rated that one drop a 4, am I really going to rate the same as that one drop? Yeah, I think it's actually about the same. All right, 4. I love how chat says like all of the best hits, like 5 stars. What if you hit, And then you have a few trolls saying Millhouse. I know. Okay. Anyhow. Nidhogg. And just so like, I'm not going to answer questions at this part. Once we're done with the review, I'll be happy to answer questions. We can talk about it. But for this part, I'm just going to try to move through it. So, Nidhogg. 6 mana 5/5 dragon. Battlecry, summon 2/0/3 eggs. Next turn, they hatch into 4/4 drakes with Rush. So I believe the way this card works is the eggs, if they get killed, then they don't summon anything, right? Like, they have to survive to the next turn to hatch. It's not like it'll be a 0/3 with, like, a death rattle on it, right? 6 mana 5/5 with some upside. The upside's insane, though, right? Because if you have the board and they can't kill those 0/3s, and they need to kill both of them. Like, if you just kill one 0/3, it's not good enough. You have to kill both. Otherwise, it's like a game-winning swing. I think it's good. I think it's really good. If you're behind, it's a lot worse, though. I'll go with a 4. It's enough upside to be really good. Okay. 5 mana 5/5. What's the best way to say this card? Cumulo Maximus? Okay, it's not getting better. Battlecry. If you have overloaded mana crystals, deal 5 damage. So it's a 5 mana 5/5. Well, maybe almost like a 6 mana card. Deal 5. It's good. I mean, worst case you tempo and it's still fine. It's a 5 mana 5/5. And you should be able to get the value. And if you get the value, it's really good. So I'm going to say this is like a 4.5. It's like 4 to 4.5. I'll go with 4.5. All right. Lightning Breath. 3 mana. Deal 4 damage to a minion. If you're holding a dragon, also damages its neighbors. Great. This is really what we need in Arena. This is... Boy. Don't you get... Does it sound awesome? Like, for 3 mana, Flame Strike? Like, that seems pretty cool, doesn't it? Like, I mean, that's... I would love to play against a 3 mana Flame Strike. This card's bonkers. Because even in the worst case and you don't have a dragon, it's a Shadow Bolt, right? Which is still good. Insane. I'm going to say there's going to be enough dragons for it to be a 5. Insane in the membrane. Make sure to put your untargetable minion in the middle. I never forget because, I don't make misplays in Arena, but make sure to put the untargetable one in the middle, okay? It's important. All right. That's it. All right, so Lightning Breath, Cumulo Maximus. How many times will I have to play with this card before I stop laughing every time I play it? Like, how old am I? Squall Hunter's good. Legendary, but good. This is really good. Shaman's looking pretty nice. Pretty nice. Okay. Warlock. Rain of Fire. 1 mana, deal 1 damage to all characters. So it's an arcane explosion that costs 1 less mana, but goes face and also hits your board. I guess the better would be like Whirlwind. It's a Whirlwind, right? Whirlwind, but it also goes face. And hits your own face. Whirlwind's okay. How many cards do we have that activate off of face damage right now for Warlock? Because it's a flexible way to activate things. I don't think Spellstone's around, right? I'm trying to remember. Like, how many cards do we have like that are around right now? Because that matters a lot for how good or bad this card is. Is Vulture around? Is it around? I don't know. Like, because I mean, obviously that makes it a lot better if things like that are around. But I don't remember. On average, I think it's only okay. Because it hits your own stuff. And, like, how good is Whirlwind? Like, it's basically a Whirlwind, if it isn't for that synergy. So, I'm going to say it's a 2.5. Like, cheap AoE is rarely bad, but, I don't know about this one. I don't know. I'm going to go with 2.5. Could be wrong on that. Dark Skies. This is another card I feel like I could be wrong about. 3 mana, deal 1 damage to a random minion, repeat for each card in your hand. So it can hit your own minions. It kind of reminds me of Spreading Madness, but maybe that's not a fair comparison because this doesn't go face, so it's better. But still, like, let's say you have 5 cards in your hand, 4 or 5 cards, and it hits your own stuff. It seems pretty bad to me. I think it's pretty bad. How bad? It's definitely worse than that last card. Significantly worse. I'm going to say it's like a... I don't know if it's a 1.5, though. Let's go with 2. I don't think it's quite a 1.5. All right. Zeraku the Warped. Oh, this is the one you guys were talking about. I didn't remember when you guys were like 8-mana legendary. I didn't comment because I didn't know. But okay, this one. Zeraku the Warped. 8 mana, 4/12. Whenever your hero takes damage, summon a 6/6 another break. Oh wait, how did I forget about this card? I hate this card. This card is so stupid. Thankfully, we won't see it a lot, but it's so dumb. And obviously, it's not a card designed with Arena in mind, but it's so dumb. Because basically what this card means is you cannot go face unless you're going to kill your opponent on that turn. Because if you go face, then you give them 6/6s every time it takes damage. It's not on your turn. It's just in general. So, and I mean, obviously that adds up really quickly. And it's hard to kill a 12 health minion. So I just really dislike this card. How good is it? It's really good. It's like a 4.5. I don't know if it's a 5, but it's definitely, it's like 4.5 to 5. I'll go with 4.5. Because, I mean, if you're not playing the face game, a 4/12, it's a 4/12 with taunt. In that case, right? So, I would go with a 4.5. Valdris Felgorge. 7 mana, 4/4. Battlecry, increase your maximum hand size to 12, draw 4 cards. I don't know how good this is in Arena. Like, I was thinking about it. I'm like, obviously, because Warlock is a class that doesn't have a lot of trouble drawing cards, right? So, like, yeah, you get a 4/4 and you draw 3 for 7, which so you pay 3 mana kind of to draw 4. Like, that is good. That's a lot of cards, but that's your turn 7. You play a 4/4. Everyone's like, sprint with a body, hello. But, like, here's the thing. You're not playing Rogue. You're playing Warlock, right? You're playing Warlock. It's different. You want to win the board, and then you just tap for more cards later on. So, I don't think this card is, like, super high power level for Arena. Maybe for Constructed, it'll be great. For Arena, I'm like, it's okay. It's good, okay? Before people get triggered. It's a good card. I just don't think it's great. It's like 3.5 to 4. I'll say it's a 4. Right? I feel like people think it's even better than that, but I'll say it's a 4. Okay. Abyssal Summoner. 6 mana, 2/2. Battlecry, summon a demon with taunt and stats equal to your hand size. So what is your hand size on average in Arena? Like, on turn 6, I guess would be the best way. So you get a 2/2, and then, what do you have, maybe 5 cards in hand? 4 cards in hand? So if you play this for A 5/5 taunt and a 2/2. That's pretty good. 5/5 and a 2/2. 5/5 taunt and a 2/2 for 6. It's okay. It's all, like, so what? Maybe a 3. Like late game. I'm just trying to think of the best case. I guess if you're tapping, you could get up to like a 6/6 or something. I think it's a 3. I think it's a 3. It's kind of a polarizing card. Because if you top deck it, you're like really sad, right? So. Okay. Crazed Netherwing. 5 mana, 5/5. Oh, this is the one that I... Remember when I had that, like, upset face about the priest card? This is the one that I actually should have the upset face about. 5 mana, 5/5, dragon tag, battle cry. If you're holding a dragon, deal 3 damage to all other characters. Yeah, like Abyssal Enforcer is a pretty good card, right? Well, yeah, this one comes down 2 turns earlier. And, yeah, it only has one less of stats. So, we should be, obviously you need to be holding a dragon, but I don't think that's going to be that hard to do. So, this card coming down on turn 5 will win you the game, I would say, most of the time. Yeah, like, AoE on a stick is just so broken. Because it has that restriction, and we could be a little bit wrong about how often we'll get dragons, because there's other expansions coming back that won't have as many dragons as just the dragons. I don't think it's a 5, but it's definitely a 4.5. Definitely. Alright. Nether Breath. 2 mana. Deal 2 damage. If you're holding a dragon, deal 4 damage with lifesteal instead. Oh, man. Some of these cards, I'm like, why? Why do we need this? Why do we need this? Yeah, this isn't a minion. This can go face. I mean, 2 mana deal 4 is insane. Even without the lifesteal. I think this is also a 4.5. I think this one's also a 4.5. I think it's really, really, really good. It's probably a little bit worse than the last card. So maybe like a 4.3, but we're not going to be able to do it that, specific. Okay. Veiled Worshipper. 4 mana, 5/4. Battle cry. Invoked. Damn, they always get me. At least all the invoke cards are together, so I can skip them at the same time. Alright, so that's Warlock. Crazed Netherwing is cut off here, but it's broken. Abyssal Summoner, Nether Breath, Pog, Rain of Fire, Dark Skies, So there's some really good ones, and there's some... Man, the really good ones are, like, insane, though. Okay. Alright, Warrior. Warrior! I'm going to play Pirate Warrior. I'm just letting you guys know. And Constructed, that is going to be my gym activity. Chilling on the bike, doing my thing, fucking smashing people in the face with Pirate Warriors. It's going to be so fun. I'm already looking forward to it. And the great thing about Pirate Warriors, you can get like 5 games in like 20 minutes. Just smork. Okay, anyhow. This is not going to be an arena. Right? No. Okay, Invoke. But I'll be running it in my Pirate Warrior deck. Wait, do you run Galakron and Pirate Warrior? Okay, I might have to do some net decking. Another Invoke card. Okay, Ramming Speed. 3 mana, force a minion to attack one of its neighbors. So basically this card means that when you're playing against a warrior, you're going to have to be careful about positioning. Like, you don't want to put that 5/4 and that 4/3 next to each other. The problem is, like, it's going to be hard to position around it. I think it's really good. I think it's really good because, like, look at like Shadow Madness, right? Shadow Madness is restriction. The restriction is it has to be 3 attack or less. This is no restriction. You just make it do that. Obviously, you can't target if there's like 3 or 4 minions. Like, you can't exactly you can't say like, oh, this minion on the far right attacks this one on the far left. But generally, you have like 2 to 3 minions on the board in Arena, right? So I think I think it's really strong. How strong? At least a 4. At least a 4. I think it's between a 4 and a 4. Man, I think it's really good for Arena. 4, 4.5. I'm going to give it a 4, but it's good. All right, moving on. Sky Raider. 1 mana, 1/2. Battlecry. Add a random pirate to your hand. So, 1 mana, 1/2s are really good. No, they're good, I guess you should say. They're really good. And you get value. So, yeah, it's good. I mean, how good are pirates in general? We're getting quite a few this expansion, but... something that gives you early tempo and then gives you a play is just really good. 4? Is this a 4.5? I'm just thinking about like the rogue card, right? Like the rogue 1/2. The rogue 1/2 gives you a reborn minion. Are reborn minions better than pirates? Probably, right? Probably. Like how? I mean, it could have synergy with itself, though, I guess, huh? I'm going to go with a 4. Descent of the Forest. Look, it's like, they're all like either 4 to 5, right? Like, that's his expansion. Like, the expansion is just broken power level. It's very good. All right. Sky Barge. 3 mana, 2/5. After you summon a pirate, deal 2 damage to a random enemy. So I think there are going to be some pirates. And a 3 mana, 2/5 is fine. Like, it's a fair enough stat line. It probably won't trigger all that often, but if it does, it's insane. I'm going to say this one is like a 3.5. Is it a 4? Should we just do 4 again for the memes? No, it's a 3.5, I think. Okay. Evil Quartermaster. 3 mana, 2/3. Battlecry. Add a lackey to your hand. Gain 3 armor. So, even if it didn't have the armor, this card's really good. So the armor is like a little bonus. So you pay 4 mana for this and a lackey. Pretty damn good. At least a 4. At least a 4. Is it higher than a 4? I think it's a 4. You still do have to play a 3 mana 2/3. Okay. Scion of Ruin. 3 mana 3/2. Rush. Oh, invoke. Skip. Anchor. 3 mana 2/3. After your hero attacks, draw a pirate from your deck. This card's really good. Because even if you only have like 1 pirate in your deck and you pull 1 pirate, it's already insane. Because a 3 mana 2/3 weapon is already good. So all it takes is pulling 1 pirate and this card's insane. So if you actually have multiple pirates, then you just kind of win when you play it. So I would say this one is a 4.5 at least. It could be a 5. It really could. How many pirates? How many pirates does Warrior get? That's not that good of one. Okay, they don't get that many. Nah, I'm sticking with 4.5. I'm sticking with 4.5. Because look, here's the thing. Even if you don't pull a pirate, it's already like a 4.2. Okay? So you just pull 1 pirate and it's super value. Don't you question mark me. I saw that question mark in chat. Next question mark, it's slapped. Okay. Molten Breath. 4 mana, deal 5 damage to a minion. If you're holding a dragon, gain 5 armor. 4 mana, deal 5 damage to a minion. It's okay. 5 damage is a pretty good breakpoint. Like, most of the 4 mana deal damage does 4. So it's good. I would say, get ready for this one. You ready for this one? I would say it's a 4. Okay. Oh, no Galakrond. Deathwing Mad Aspect. 8 mana, 12/12. Battlecry, attack all other minions. With all, obviously the dragon tag. Man, I think this card. So it's obviously a little bit weird because it can hit your own minions and it has to do. It attacks them. Doesn't just destroy all of them like the regular Deathwing. But like you drop it on an empty board, it's insane. You have an 8 mana 12/12. If you kill like a 4/4 or something, it's still insane. If you're ahead on the board, you make trades first. So I think it's pretty good. I'm just thinking about how good. And it could just be kind of a board clear, right? I'm going to say it's a 4.5. I'm going to say it's a 4.5. I think it's really good. Okay. Now we move on to the bread and butter. That's right, the neutrals. Constructed players are like, neutrals. I don't play that pleb stuff in my decks. But us arena players, this is our love. This is what makes our decks. Okay, Evasive Chimera. 2 mana, 2/1. Poisonous, can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. I mean, it can be a little annoying for certain classes, right? Like, it basically makes it a little bit worse for, like, a mage. But outside of that, it's like, 2 mana for that? It's like a really, really, really crappy gastropod. Because, like, a rogue just daggers it, a druid just daggers it. I don't think it's very good. It does have to be killed. Like, you can't just develop your 3-drop into it, but I don't think it's very good. I'm going to say it's a 2.5. Yeah, 2.5. All right, Grizzled Wizard. 2 mana, 3/2, Battlecry. Swap hero powers with your opponent until your next turn. I see, this is like a good amount of a random effect, I would say. Like, it's just like, okay, maybe you're a warrior and you get a ping on one turn. Like, it's not like game breaking, but it's just kind of cool. You could steal the hunter hero power as a priest to kill them or something. Like, I don't know. I like this kind of card. It's also just a 2 mana 3/2, so it's fine. I would say this card is like a 3.5. Like, it's a 3 to 3.5. I'll go 3.5. 3.5. Whoops, I just typed 3.56. 3.5. Okay. Tasty Flyfish. 2 mana 2/2. Death Rattle, give a dragon in your hand +2/+2. Dragon in your hand +2/+2. And there's going to be a lot of dragons, so if you play a 2 mana 2/2 that buffs a dragon, it's pretty good. It's a Murloc tag. It doesn't really matter too much, I think, for this expansion. Like, if you get a buff, it's really nutty. I'm going to say, I think chat's underrating this card. I think it's, I don't think this is anywhere near a 2. I would say it's like a 3 to a 3.5 for me. I'll say 3, but it could even be better. +2/+2 is a lot at that stage in the game. Like, I guess the thing about it is dragons, you might not be able to play them till later because they're expensive, but there's a lot of cheaper dragons. So, like, you play this on turn 2, and then all of a sudden those 3 mana dragons that, discover a dragon, now instead of playing a 2/3, you're playing a Yeti, right? So, okay. There's a second card with Murloc Dragon Cross Injury. Okay, check it out. Whoops. Oh, no, I messed up the whole thing. Saved, we're fine. Firehawk. 3 mana, 1/3 elemental. Battlecry, gain +1 attack for each card in your opponent's hand. So, I was trying to think earlier how good this card is. like, how much better is a 6/3 compared to like a 4/3, right? And if it's in the late game and you're top decking, it's, it could very well be a 2/3 or something. So I don't think it's very good. I think it's below average, to be honest. I don't think it's very good. Because, like, the extra attack, I don't think will matter that much to me. So, I think it's like a 2 to 2.5. Maybe 2.5. But, yeah. Because, like, Ice Rage. I guess Ice Rage was a 2 health mini, but still. Okay. Gobbo Glide Tech. A 3-mana 3/3 battlecry. If you control a mech, gain +1/+1 in rush. How many mechs do we have for this expansion? And the sets that are coming back? There's been a couple, but I feel like there aren't that many. And you have to control the mech. So you need the mech to be on the board. It's it's very unlikely to work. So I think like 95% of the time it's going to be a 3/3, right? So I think it's like a 3. I don't think this is going to trigger almost ever. 3. 3. Okay. Living Dragon Breath. What a random effect. 3 mana, 3/4. Your minions can't be frozen. 3 mana, 3/4. Your minions can't be frozen. It's got the elemental tag. It's good. Spider tanks are good. The effect I don't think will almost ever matter, but yeah, it can't be frozen by Hildner, which is kind of cool. I don't think it unfreezes though. Do you guys know actually? I doubt it can be. I doubt you can play this and unfreeze a minion. Your minions can't be frozen. It looks like an aura, though. Your minions can't be frozen. It does unfreeze? It's confirmed, though, and dropping to unfreezes. Oh, okay. I have to think about how much synergy there will be with that. Like, obviously, if your board gets Blizzard, you can actually get a trade or something. 4? And Spider Tanks are good. I think 4 is fair. A Spider Tank with some upside? Seems good. Seems good. Alright. Hippogriff. 4 mana, 2/6 Rush Taunt. So it's... And it has a Beast Tag. So it's a strictly better Stegodon. Like the 4 mana, 2/6, right? This one just gets to make a trade first. So it's total power creep. I like it. I don't think it's broken, right? Like, I think it's a fine card. It's good. I'm going to say it's a 3.5. Like, I don't think the rush is that important because it has taunt. So, it does make it better, but I don't think it's that much better. I'm going to go with a 3.5. Okay, Skyfin. Oh, this is the one that we was talking about. A 5 mana 3/3 Murloc. Battlecry. If you're holding a dragon... Summon 2 random Murlocs. If you're holding a dragon, summon 2 random Murlocs. So when this procs, how good is it even? A 3/3, and what's an average Murloc? A 3/2? That feels like a high roll for a Murloc. It's like maybe a 3/2? I mean, if you play a 3/3 with 2 3/2s, that's pretty good, right? But if you don't, again, there will be a lot of dragons, but if you don't have a dragon, it's garbage. You play a 5 mana 3/3. So I don't think it's good. I don't think the upside is high enough for it to be a good card. So I'm going to say it's like a 2. My text thing keeps wanting to change to 3.5. I don't know why, too. Okay, Gyrocopter. 6 mana, 4/5 mech with Rush and Wind Fury. So I think this is a very fair card. Like, compared to Walking Fountain, right? 2 more mana, you get 3 more health and lifesteal. It's just I think it's solid. Because the way I see this card is you take it and you send it into a 3-2 to get a free kill, and then you send it into a big guy to, to do damage to it and then clean it up or whatever with another minion. So I think it's solid. There will be some situations where your opponent just has like an ogre on the board and you're like, this doesn't help me at all. And it's pretty weak then. So I don't think it's great. I think it's like 3... Is this a 3.5? I'm not sure. I'm going to say it's a 3.5. Rush tends to be pretty good in Arena. But the stat line, like if it's a 5-5, it's way better, right? But a 4 or 5... Okay. Blazing Battle Mage. 1 mana 2/2. That's it. Just a 1 mana 2/2. And you know how good a 1 mana 2/2 is? Really good. In Arena, 1 mana 2/2 is great. So, like the Raven, forget the name of the Raven, the Druid card, is like you take it pretty much every time. So it's very good. I think even if you're more of a control deck, having some early game 1-drops like this are quite good. So I would say it's like, I'll go with a 4. Yeah. Okay, Horde Pillager. 4 mana 4/2 pirate. Battlecry, equip one of your destroyed weapons. So these are the kind of cards that are really hard to give an overall rating for, because it's obviously a lot better in like Warrior than it is in Mage or Priest or any class that doesn't have weapons, right? So yeah, I mean, overall, this card is probably below average because it's a 4 mana 4/2 more of the time. So if you're giving this an overall score, I would say it's like a 2 or a 1.5 or something, right? Obviously, if you are playing a class like Paladin, Warrior, Rogue is a little bit weird because your hero power cancels a destroyed weapon, so it's not even that good there. But obviously, in like those classes, it could be really, really good. But I think in general, I would give it a 2. But it's not a card you should be like, oh, that card's crap, I never take it. You should look at what class you're playing. Okay. Parachute Brigand. 2 mana 2/2. After you play a pirate, summon this minion from your hand. So I know constructed players are kind of worried about this, and I think it's obviously going to be a staple in the Pirate Warrior I'm going to be playing. But for Arena, I don't think there are enough pirates to trigger it reliably, right? Again, it depends on the class a little bit, but most of the time you'll be dropping as a 2 mana 2/2, which is pretty bad. I'd say it's a 2. Look, I don't even have to change the rating. Yeah. Okay. Troll Batrider. 4 mana 3/3. Battlecry, deal 3 damage to a random enemy minion. So this card is basically Bomb Lobber, but 1 less mana, right? And it scales down a little bit. 3 damage instead of 4. It's a strictly worse Flanking Strike, but do you know how good Flanking Strike is? Flanking Strike is like absurdly broken. So saying it's a strictly worse Flanking Strike does not mean it isn't a good card. Yeah, I think it's quite strong, right? You kill a 3/3 or something, or a 4/3. Like this card could make playing a 3 mana 4/3 pretty bad, because it sets up for this swing. So I'm gonna go with, it's between a 4 and a 4.5. 4.5 is like kind of rarefied era, so I think I would say a 4. But yeah, quite good. Scale Rider. 3 mana 3/3. Battlecry, for holding a dragon, deal 2 damage. So SI 7 agent that is conditional but more consistent because you don't have to combo. Like on turn 3, if you have a dragon, it will do 2. You don't have to combo, but you have to have a dragon. 3 mana 3/3. If you tempo it, it sucks. But I think there will be enough dragons for it to be okay. So I'm gonna say it's like a 3.5. Like how good is this card if it just is a 3 mana 3/3 deal 2? It would be a 4.5 or a 5, right? Maybe it's more like a 4. I'll keep it at 3.5, but that one I'm not sure. How card, is that what I said? Yeah, how card. What? That's good English. What do you mean? Evasive Worm. 6 mana, 5/3 dragon, divine shield, and rush. Can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. This card is really good. Really, 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 really good. So I would say the closest comparison... Wait, I should take off the 3.5 because it's definitely not 3.5. The closest comparison would be Argent Commander. Argent Commander has the upside of being able to go face, but it does less damage and it has less health. So, man, it's really, really good. It's definitely at least a 4.5. I'm thinking if it's actually a 5. Like, it's so good. I think it's actually a 5. Like, in Arena, cards like this are just bonkers. Because it kills something, probably. It probably kills something and then leaves behind a 5/3. That's just disgusting. Not to mention it can't be targeted by spells or hero power, so you can't just, like, Frostbolt it to remove it. So, yeah, gross. Really, really, really super powerful. Alright. Big ol' Whelp. How many of you guys, be honest, can relate to this Whelp? Look at him. Looks like he just had a big dinner. You know, had some in and out. Now he's sitting back, watching Dred's review, licking his eyeball. How many of you are like this thing? Okay. It's a 5 mana 5/5 dragon. Battlecry, draw a card. It's funny because this card is actually bonkers, but because there's so many more crazy cards in this expansion, it's like, yeah, it's fine. Just a well-statted minion that gives you a card, you know? Like, this card is better. So you guys are talking about Azure Drake. Azure Drake is worse than this card in Arena, because Azure Drake was a 4/4. A 5/5 is, like, yeah, it doesn't have the spell power, but in Arena, that normally doesn't matter. The fact that it has more stats makes it better. So this would be better than Azure Drake in Arena. I would say it's a 4.5. Like, because here's what I remember. Like, what I remember is Bonfire Elemental was really nutty when it went off. And this is a Bonfire Elemental, but you don't have to set it up, right? So I think it's really, really good. Okay. Evasive Feywing. 5 mana 4/4. Dragon. Can't be targeted. Oh, 4 mana 5/4. Brain, you can do it. Come on, you can do it, buddy. 4 mana 5/4. Dragon. Can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. So it reminds me a lot of the Hunter card. What's the card? The 4/3? The 3 mana 4/3? Bear Shark. Yeah, Bear Shark. It reminds me a lot of that card, right? A kind of similar stat line. And the can't be targeted thing can get really annoying. But how much better is this than just a regular 5/4? Like, that's a little bit better. I think it's like a 3.5. It's good. Is it higher than a 3.5? I don't know. Like, maybe it's a 4, but I'm not sure. It does have it. Yeah, it does have the dragon tag, but like, generally a 4 mana 5/4 is like okay. I'm okay with a 4. I think it's between a 3.5 and a 4. It's not a 4.5. I don't think it's that good. Like, generally, it's minion trading in Arena. You can't ping it, which is annoying, but I think 4 is fair. Alright, Blowtorch Saboteur. So, 3 mana 3/4. Battlecry, your opponent's next hero power costs 3. Very good. It's a spider tank with a fair... I'd say it's a fairly significant upside. Because, unlike Saboteur, this effect keeps... this effect stays for multiple turns. So if you don't use your hero power on the next turn, then the turn after it will still be 3. So you basically have to play an overpriced hero power at some point. So I think it's quite good. Probably a 4. I don't think you can justify it being a 4.5, even though Yeah, I do like the card, but it's definitely a 4. Maybe even a little bit higher than a 4. Okay. Dragon Maw Poacher. Oh, man. Dude, okay, I should tell you what the card does first. It's a 4 mana 4/4 battle cry. If your opponent controls a dragon, gain +4/+4 in rush. So, if your opponent has a dragon, you get a 4 mana 8/8 rush. This is such a stupid card. And I mean, okay, like, I don't know. I get it, like, Arena is a very small piece of the pie, but I hate that they print cards like this. Like, I get that dragons are really powerful and they want to have a downside for dragons, but it does not need to be this thing. Like, I just think about the Shaman card, the 4 mana 5/7 dragon. Like, you play that, you overload for 2, your opponent just happens to top deck this, and they play an 8/8 rush and free kill your 5/7, you're now overloaded for the next turn, and the game's over. Like, that's it. Like, you're not coming back from that. Like, maybe you have a way to kill it in the next turn. Even if you do, you use resources. Like, I just hate cards like this. Like, I hate Dragon Slayer. I hate all these hate cards for Arena. Because of how many dragons there are, I think this card is actually a 5. Because, yeah, you play as a 4 for him, that could suck, but I think it will trigger a lot. You will probably hold this in your hand most of the time, and it's just like, man, I don't know. I know I will lose a lot of games to my opponent having this card, and those kind of losses aren't fun. They just aren't. Okay, moving on. Enough ranting. I just hate that card. Okay, this card's also pretty dumb. Faceless Corruptor. 5 mana 5/4 rush. Battlecry. Transform one of your minions into a copy of this. So this is another problematic card because of just the way Arena works with mostly minion trading. So you can think of a couple of ways this card could be used. Let's say you have a lackey and you have a lackey on board, or you drop a lackey and you transform your 1/1 into a 5/4. So for 6 mana, if you have to play it, or if you have something on the board, you get 2 5/4s with rush. Like, it's insane. Or you have, 4 or 5 on the board, you trade into a 4/4, you have a 4/1, and then you use this to transform it back into a 5/4. It's just too many stats and initiative for what it costs. So it's just disgusting. Is it a 5? It's definitely between a 4.5 and a 5. I think it's probably a 5. Cards like this are just insane. Like, and it's at least it's a rare, okay? At least it's a rare. It's not a neutral. So we won't see it as much, but yeah. Ugh. Too good. Plaguebreaker. 5 mana 5/5. Battlecry, destroy your opponent's armor. I mean, for Arena, it's like a 3, right? Like, destroying the armor very, very rarely matters, so it's a 3. It's fine. Like, it's a 5 mana 5/5. It's okay. Yeah, like, come on. There's no warriors in Arena. And if there are warriors, they're going to be like piratish warriors. Cobalt Spellkin. 5 mana 3/5 dragon. Battlecry. Add 2 1-cost spells from your class to your hand. So this card depends a bit on what class you're playing, obviously. Like, some 1-cost spells are really good for certain classes. Some classes don't have that many good ones. So it depends a bit on the class, but in general, I think it's quite good. Like, it's targeted spells, too. They're flexible to play. It is an understated minion. Like, a 5 mana 3/5 is very weak on the turn. But the way I see this card is it's more, you play it on, like, turn 6 or turn 7, and then you use a spell to kind of make up some of the tempo. So I think it's good. I'm going to say this is a 4. Because you do have to play a 5 mana 3/5. So I think it's a 4. Alright. Frizz Kindle Roost. 4 mana 5/4. Battlecry, reduce the cost of dragons in your deck by 2. Yeah, so another card I just really dislike for Arena, at least. Like, there's a lot of dragons right now, and if you play this on turn 4, and you get a few draws into some big dragons, it's just, like, it's just not the kind of RNG I particularly enjoy, because you don't really pay a cost. Like, you still play a fairly set of minion on turn 4. But, yeah, it's a legendary, won't see it that much. I'd say it's like a 4.5. Don't think it's quite a 5, but yeah. Okay, Depth Charge. 1 mana, 0/5. At the start of your turn, deal 5 damage to all of their minions. So it obviously is very similar to Doomsayer, which Doomsayer has situations where it's good, but it's also generally bad in Arena. That's just kind of the, like, most of the time Doomsayer is pretty awkward. On turn 2 in the right situation, or turn 3, it can be really good. It's not always bad, but this is very similar to it to me. Like, there's some things that are better about it. It's 1 mana, it's easier to play, but it doesn't kill as many things, so it's a little bit, worse in other ways. So I really feel like it's just another version of Doomsayer, and I think Doomsayer is a below average card, so I also think this is a slightly below average card. 2.5? 2? Honestly, I think it's as bad as a 2. I don't think it's even a 2.5. Maybe it's also the way I like to play, but I feel like this card is going to be... I've actually changed my mind. I think it's a 2.5. I'm just thinking about with certain classes, like, it could be good, right? Like, if you're playing a certain kind of deck, it could be good. Because you play that 1 mana to try and seal the board, and if it works, you probably win. So I'm going to give it a 2.5. Change my mind. Slightly better, but it's still below average. Bad Luck Albatross. 3 mana, 4/3. What a troll card. It's like a new weasel. Death Rattle, shuffle 2 1/1 Albatross into your opponent's deck. It's better than Weasel because it actually has a decent stat line. And 2 1/1 Albatrosses. So if they draw 1, it's pretty good. I think it's above average because a 4/3 is okay, right? And there is a chance for it being decent. I'm going to go with a 3.5. I'll draft it. Plus, with my luck, my opponent will have a singleton deck at Arena. And with this card, I will be able to disrupt their combo and prevent them from playing their Alexstrasza. Okay. Dreadraven. My card! Wow! 3 mana, 3/4. Beast. Has +3 attack for each other Dreadraven you control. It's a 3 mana, 3/4. Like, you're not going to be popping off with like 4 Dreadravens on the board. 99% of the time, it's a 3 mana, 3/4. It's also epic, so you aren't going to see it that much. How good is a 3 mana, 3/4? It's probably around it's like between a 3.5 and a 4, I'd say. I've been rating the other 3/4s that have a little more upside as a 4. So I think I'll say this is a 3.5, but yeah. I mean, sure, certain classes, the beast tag makes it a little bit better, right? Maybe that's enough reason to make it a 4 as well. Okay, let's just make it a 4. Like in Druid or Hunter, like you get some upside. Okay, fine. Fair enough. 4. Final answer. Kobold Sticky Finger. 5 mana, 4/4. Another troll card. It's a pirate. So we're talking about those cards that summon pirates and stuff. 5 mana, 4/4 pirate. Steal your opponent's weapon. Oh, man. How bad is it going to feel when this happens, right? It's another one of those cards that's just going to feel bad. Like, they steal the second half of your True Silver, and you're just like, why? Like, why do you have to do that, you know? Anyhow. On average, I would say it's a below average card, because against most classes, you aren't going to get value, because they won't have weapons, so it's a 5 mana 4/4. So I would say, is the upside enough to make it a 3? I don't know. Maybe? I'll go a 3. But I think it might be worse than that on average. Okay. Transmogrifier. 2 mana, 2/3. After you draw a card, transform it into a random legendary minion. So this is going to be Twitch chat's favorite card, of course. Honestly, it's got fine stat line. 2 mana, 2/3. Is a random legendary going to be better than a card in your deck? On average, probably slightly better. And unlike Prince... Well, I was thinking, unlike Prince Malgazar, doesn't really mess up your curve, but it kind of does, depending on what you draw. How good is it? 4, maybe? Like, there are times where it will be bad because you have, like, a really sick deck and you don't want to lose your crazy Dragon Synergy cards and stuff. 4? I'm going to say it's a 4. I still think, like, you don't have to play it. Malgazar was bad, so this surely can't be good. Malgazar is good in the right deck, though. F's with your curve bad? Kind of, but you've already mulliganed. Right? Like, you've already mulliganed for early game cards. So, it might not mess up your curve that much. Okay, fine. You guys are a bunch of haters. We'll make it 3.5. I was going to shoot for the stars, but fine. You guys have talked me down. We're going to make it a 3.5. I hope you're happy. Okay. Dragon Queen Alexstrasza. 9 mana, 8/8 dragon. Battlecry. If your deck has no duplicates, add 2 random dragons to your hand. They cost 0. So, again, another card that's hard to give a number to. Like, if it's active, it's a 5. There's no doubt about it. Like, this card is insane power level. But the question is, you know, how often it will be active. It's hard to give a rating because, like, if you give a rating in general and you draft it like later on, you have duplicates, which I think you will have a decent number because you're gonna take a lot of the new cards. You might not be able to make it work. So I think I'm gonna say a 4.5. Because also if you compare it to something like Kazakus, where again it won't always work if you're like late in the draft. This card is less flexible because you can't play it on turn like 4 and look for a 5-cost spell. You have to wait till turn 9 to play it. So I think 4.5 is fair. Dragon Breeder. 2 mana, 2/3 Battlecry. Choose a friendly dragon, add a copy of it to your hand. Yeah. So it's another well-statted minion with good upside, right? 2 mana, 2/3 is fine. Getting a dragon that you drafted probably is good. So it's quite good. How good is it? It's at least a 4. Is it a 4.5? I mean, if you don't have another 2-drop, you just have to play it on turn 2. I'm not sure if it's a 4.5. It's definitely a 4. I think it's a 4. I don't think it's quite 4.5 level. Because you have to have the minion on the board, then you have to play this with it. Your dragon has to live, or you play in the same turn, but then you're holding this 2-drop. So I'm going to go with 4. All right. Chromatic Egg. 5 mana, 0/5. Sorry, 0/3. I keep misreading these cards. What does that say? 5 mana, 0/3. Battlecry. Secretly discover a dragon to hatch into. Death Rattle Hatch. It's bad, right? Because you need to have a way to pop it, and if you don't have a way to activate it, then it's awful. And you're still paying 5 mana. So if you get like a mediocre dragon, like a 5/5 or something, you discover. So you're unlikely to get a mediocre one though. But it's just you need to have a way to proc it. So it's pretty bad. Like a 1. I think it's a 1. I'm just trying to adjust it to 4. I guess I've given a lot of 4 ratings. 1. Uno. Hot Air Balloon. 1 mana, 1/2 mech. At the start of your turn, gain +1 health. So I would say this is like a 1/3, right? Most of the time. Is it better or worse than a 1/3? If you're going second, it's worse, because they might just be able to kill it with their 1 mana 2/2, which we've seen. I'd say it's like a 2.5. Because I don't know if I want to pay 1 mana for a 1/2 with a very slight upside. So I think 2.5 is fine. Okay. Camouflaged dirigible? Dirigible? Camouflage dirigible? I don't know. Camouflage thing. 6 mana, 6/6 mech. Battlecry, give your other mech stealth until your next turn. It's a 6 mana, 6/6. Like, obviously, you could use this with the Rush Wind Fury thing just to stealth your Wind Fury, and then, but, like, that's not going to happen. 6 mana, 6/6. It's fine. It's like a 3. It's alright. Okay. Kronk's Dragonhoof. Oh, Galakron. Nope. Get out of here. Shuma. 7 mana, 1/7. At the end of your turn, fill your board with 1/1 tentacles. So this is a card that I think is also a little bit hard to evaluate, because classes that can make use of the tokens, it's a lot better in, right? Like, it's much better, and we saw the new Shaman card, or like Druid, than it is going to be in Mage, right? So as far as an overall rating, I think it's okay. Like, I'd say it's a little bit above average, maybe like a 3.5. I don't know if I would say it's a 4, because you probably have a board with it. So you play a 1/7, and then let's say you summon like 2 or 3 1/1s. I don't know, but it can give you a way to come back with a bunch of tokens. I think 3.5 is fair. Okay. Sathrovar. So this is actually already in the game. Has anyone drafted this, by the way? Just random. I don't think I've seen it in Arena, and I feel like I've played a decent amount, but I don't know if I've ever seen it. I wonder if it is in Arena. Oh, it's not in Arena right now? Wait, but can't you play it in Constructed? Why wouldn't it be in a... What? Okay. 9 mana, 5/5 demon. Battlecry. Choose a friendly minion. Add a copy of it to your hand, deck, and battlefield. I mean, the fact that it adds a copy to your battlefield means it's like decent tempo. Hand, deck, and battlefield. I think it's pretty decent. You need to have something on the board, but I'd say it's like a 4, 3.5. I'll go 3.5. 3.5 seems fair. Devoted Maniac. 4 mana, 2... Galakron. Alright. This is one of the early ones I remember now. Yeah, so 7 mana... Evasive Draconid. 7 mana, 7/7 Dragon Tag. Taunt can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. This is quite good. Like, the difference between... So it's a War Golem with Taunt that can't be targeted by a spell to remove it. It's really good. Like, I would say it's better than like Sagoth, right? Because it's got a better stat line. It's not like understated. I think it's really good. 4.5 maybe? It's 4 to 4.5. I think it's a 4.5. I think it's really, really good. And it also, again, like these dragon cards, the more you have of them, they activate each other, and they make all those cards better. So I think it's really good. Okay. Shield, Invoke. Oh, God, I remember. So it's funny, this card was announced, it feels like so long ago, that I've gotten over being mad about it, but now I see it again, and now I'm going to get mad again. And I don't want to get mad, because it's not fun getting mad. Okay, so we have Twin Tyrant. It's an 8 mana 4/10 with the Dragon Tag. Battlecry, deal 4 damage to 2 random enemy minions. 4/10 stat line is really good for, like, well, it's a 4/10 stat line is okay, I would say, for 8 mana. It's okay. And it deals 4 damage to 2 random enemy minions. So it's like a double bomb lobber. And it's a neutral. So a neutral common, right? It's between a 4.5 and a 5. I think it's probably like a 4.5, but ugh. It's just, the thing is, you're going to see a lot of it compared to some of those other cards I rated really highly. You aren't going to see them as much because they aren't neutrals. But this is going to be, it's going to be everywhere. Okay. Anyhow, Utgard Grapple Sniper, 6 mana 5/5 Battlecry. Both players draw a card. If it's a dragon, summon it. Yeah, so this for me is an example of too much RNG for a card. Like it's because, you know, let's say you both have a lot of dragons in your deck, because I think that will be the case, and your opponent draws a dragon and you don't, and then you probably lose. If you draw a dragon and they don't, then they probably lose. I don't know. I just don't like cards like this. Again, like I like RNG, but not that much RNG. So what do I rate this? I mean, I don't think I'll be drafting a lot because I just don't want to roll the dice unless my deck is just all dragons. 2.5? 2? I'm gonna say it's like a 2. I don't think it's much worse than that, because it's like if you do draft a lot of dragons, you know, maybe your opponent isn't as good at drafting dragons as you. I don't know, but I don't like it. I don't like the design. I don't want to draft it too much. Okay. Wing Commander, 4 mana 2/5, has +2 attack for each dragon in your hand. So if you have one dragon, it's a Yeti. You have 2 dragons, it's a 6/5. I don't know. I think I'd rather just have a Yeti, to be honest, because, like, I don't know how often you'll have 2 dragons chilling in your hand, and if you top pick and have to play a 4 mana 2/5, it sucks. So I feel like it's a very average card. I'm gonna say it's a 3. I'm gonna say it's a 3. Yeah. Okay. Wormrest Purifier, 2 mana 3/2. Another meme card. Battlecry, transform all neutral cards in your deck into random class cards from your class. Or random cards from your class. Alright, so it's obviously kind of a funny card, but how good or bad is it? The thing is, there's some really high power level neutrals right now, right? Like, I don't like that Tyrant card. I don't want to change that into a random class card. Like, I put the cards into my deck because, you know, hopefully they're good. I don't think it's all that good. Because, like, sure, there are some bad neutrals, but I don't think it's all that good. It's better the worse your deck is. It's one of those cards where, like, as your deck, if you draft a really crappy deck, then you're like, woo, I can make it better. But yeah, I don't think it's so good. I'm gonna say it's like it's still a 2 mana 3/2, but 2 maybe 2.5. Let's go with a 2.5 because if you have a bad deck, maybe it'll be okay. 2.5 seems okay. But like for me, it's worse than a 3/2. Like I'd rather just have a Raptor, and that would be like a 3. Okay. Zoldrak Ritualist, 4 mana 3/9. Taunt, Battlecry, summon 3 random 1-cost minions for your opponent. So do we have poisonous 1-drops right now? Like, do we have any right now? Because that makes this a lot worse. I still think it's pretty bad. Because I'd say on average you get a 2/1. And that's 6 power, and so then you've played like a 3/3. And it's obviously like a combo card, right? So it's bad. Like a 1.5? 1.5? 1? I think it's I think a 1.5. I don't like it. No. Someone just said no MCT in chat. Can we go ahead and ban them, please? Thank you. Do we have mods in here? Okay. Is that it? Are we done? Is that all of them? I think we did it, chat. I think that's all of them. Can anyone think of a card we missed? I think we got them all. All right, so what do we think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think is going to be good for classes? What do you think is going to be bad? I really like the Hunter set. The Hunter cards seemed really good. Mage seemed okay. Shaman actually seemed quite good. Priest seemed okay. Warlock seemed bonkers. There were definitely some really sick Warlock cards. Warrior okay. Rogue. I'm trying to think about Rogue. Like, there's some really good cards, but there's also like some pretty bad cards. Feels like Warlock is going to be really, really good, and maybe Hunter is going to be really good. But I feel like I overrate Hunter a lot. So, everything is good. Yeah, I mean, the truth about it is it feels like it's one of those expansions where I could see it being the case where it's not so much what class you play, but it's just how many dragons you get. Like, how many of the good neutrals, and if you're playing a class, how many of the cards from the new set you get. Because compared to the expansions that are coming back, it's so we get Karazhan back, Knights of the Frozen Throne. That does have some high power cards. Roskan's Rumble, Omega Lul. What else? What else am I missing? There's something else. Is that all of them? Basic and Classic are back, of course. So anyhow, I think these cards from this set are much better. So as far as if you're drafting and you want to, oh yeah, Blackrock Mountain, yeah, that's the other one. If you want to have success in Arena, I think the best advice would be to pick a lot of the new cards. Because they're just so much better. As far as what the pace of Arena is going to be, I'm not really sure. I don't think it's going to be super aggro because you have some of these really powerful removal spells. I don't know how common they'll be. We should have an offering bonus, but who knows for sure. But yeah, I think it. I don't think it'll be aggro, and I don't think it'll be super control. So that's kind of my feeling. We skipped a card, Tentacle Menaces. What's Tentacle Menaces? Does anyone have a link? Tentacle Menaces. Did we skip a card? It's a neutral. So that was the other screen. Did we? Okay, hold on. Let me Google it. Tentacle Menaces. Hearthstone. Smiley face. Use the search bar? No, I didn't skip it. It must have been. Oh. Okay. There it is. Tentacle Menaces. Neutral. 5 mana, 6/5. Oh, I remember this card. I hate this card too. Oh, good. Thank you for reminding me. I hate this card. Oh, it's another one of those cards. Great. We go out on the last card. Is a card I hate. Wonderful. Thanks, Fixable. Okay, no, thanks for letting me know. Okay, so again, I do like a certain amount of RNG, but this is stupid because it's a well-stated menu. It's a 5 mana 6/5. Battle Cry. Each player draws a card, swap their cost. So it's just like you might have a lot of big cards in your deck, but you might just get unlucky on this one, right? So you draw the 2-drop, they draw the 8-drop, and you just lose, right? That's it. Thanks for playing. They play a 2 mana 8/8. You have an 8 mana 2/2. Like, you lost. Like that. I don't know. That's just not the kind of RNG that I enjoy. So yeah, it's epic. It probably won't be around all that much, but yeah, it's a good example of too much RNG and just yeah. Anyhow, overall, complaining aside, I'm really excited for the expansion. Like, the cards are quite powerful, which will make it fun to play. I mean, hopefully. That doesn't mean I won't get salty when I lose to some of the cards. Like, the 8/8 Rush minion is going to be really unfun to lose to. But overall, a lot of Battle Cries, a lot of Discover. Dragon's just pretty cool, I would say. So I'm excited for it. I hope it's a fun arena meta. And yeah, I also hope that if it's super imbalanced, Blizzard will change some things. Because I don't want, like, this past meta where Paladin and Warlock just kind of dominated, and it was a little... No, not the most fun. So yeah, I'm excited. All right, end of the card review. Where's my end of review? I just have to mark it because I'm gonna put it on YouTube. So if anyone missed it or came in late, it will be on YouTube. All right. Alright, alright. Sounds good. So now what do we do? I'm down to chill for a little bit. I'm probably going to do a shorter stream today, to be honest. So we could do a little bit of Battlegrounds, maybe on like EU or something. And just kind of hang out. I want to talk about it a little bit, so maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll play some Battlegrounds on EU. And, oh yeah, giveaway. Oh yeah, giveaway. Crap, thanks for reminding me. Giveaway. Giveaway, yeah. 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 Oh, rate the card. Oh, too late. Too late. I rated it. It's too late. Okay. Rate the card. Rating. I don't know. It's a perfectly average, but it's a 3. But for a good player like me, it's a 1. I don't want this kind of RNG, okay? Alright? Done. Boom. 3, though. 3 is probably the correct one. But I hate it. Hate it.